going live. We're putting sand shoes on, literally sand shoes. Sand is coming out of my shoes, literally. All the back of my car, it's got sand everywhere. Not great for your car, just saying. But anyway, doesn't matter because, you know, it's just materialistic things. Sand gets in everything. So we're putting sand shoes on because we're at the beach. It's a beautiful winter's day here. Just trying to put my shoes on. I leave these shoes in the back of my car so that they're always ready for when I want to walk. I'm going to get the sand out of them. So what a 30k walk coming up. I thought it was next week. That's why I said the countdown's on. But it's actually 2 weeks away. Can't do the maths. I'm doing a 30k walk in 2 weeks, so that's like 22 miles, I think. Now, taking you along for the walk. I've got a bucket here that I take with me because I'm collecting sea glass. I don't want to put these keys in my pocket because they pull my pants down basically. So let's just dump this in here. These are poo bags for dogs, see? Dog poop, biodegradable. So I've just been using them to collect the sea glass. I'll put my keys in there. And then I'll put them in my bucket. That's how I collect my sea glass. And I'm going to put a bottle of water in there too. And then we lock the car. So this is the beach. Hey Bill, how you going? Hey Mandy Duck Queen, didn't I just see you on... I saw you on someone's live. Oh, Mel runs things. Hey, how you going? So meet Bill. Bill is from Iowa. And I didn't actually know where you are from, Mandy Duck Queen. I met you on a New Zealand live. So thanks for jumping on. So this is my beach. This is my local beach, just like 5 minutes from my house. And this is winter, guys, and there's people actually sunbaking. It's actually quite nice. People swimming. So we're training and we'll go down this way today. Something different. So I'm training for a 30k walk, guys. 32k's in miles is about 22 miles on sand. Hence why I'm walking on sand. I have done this walk before. It's for charity. It's for mental health. I actually thought it was next week. So I was getting a bit like, oh my gosh, I better, get out there. And like normally the week before, I try to get like at least like 20k's in one day just to really get, the body going, but not a couple of days before because you don't want to be run down for your walk. Because 30k's or 22 miles in one day is a lot. Just going to say, and it's it's hard on the body, especially on sand. So that's what I'm doing here, guys. I'm just training, taking you along for the ride, and because I'm going this way, the glare's on my phone, so I can't actually see your chat very well, guys. So I will stop periodically and check the chat and say hello, but it's hard for me to actually see it unless I turn around, and then I can see it a little bit better. But otherwise, and to be honest, I'm here to walk, not to quickly, stop and look at the chat. So no respect, don't disrespect me, meaning I don't, value you guys, but I do. But I have to also walk because obviously if I don't get myself fighting fit, I will suffer in that day of walking. So I'm walking with 3 other women, so there's a team of 4 of us. And they actually are not exercising that much. So they will suffer. So I've done this walk before and they say on the day, they're like, oh my gosh, I should have trained. I'm like, yeah. I try to get them to come train with me, but they, always make excuses up. So, yeah, like, you need to train. So I don't really want to film kids. So obviously I'm putting the phone down. There's a few kids on the beach. Whoops. So yeah, just being respectful of young people. And we're picking up sea glass. So Bill knows this. Bill is a good mate that I've met through the chat. So now I'm in a bit of shade here. I can have a quick look at the chat and see who's around. I'm in Australia, yeah. This is southeast Queensland, and this is winter, guys. How is winter? Pretty nice, hey guys? So yeah, hi, I'm Dora. Welcome to my live. So Mandy, Duck Queen, thanks for jumping on. I just saw you literally on Mel Runs live, so thank you. And KD, hi, how you going? I'm not sure you want to know where I am. So I'm in southeast Queensland. I'm 30 minutes north of Brisbane in a place called Redcliffe. It's like a beachside little community. There's no waves here because it's a bay. That's actually an island over there. You can see that, there's an island. It's called Moreton Island. It's a sand island. And then you've got the bay here. And there's actually a shipping channel over here. There's a big shipping boat over there, if you can see that. I don't know if you can. It's a shipping place over there. So yeah, it's quite a nice winter's day, guys. I had to get out here because I can't be inside doing stuff. Like, you need to be out and enjoy this. Like, that's why there's so many people on the beach today. It's so beautiful. And like, there's people swimming because it's that nice. I mean, I'm sure the water's probably cold, but it'd be nice. Yep, Bill, like I said, kick a rock and keep moving. So yeah, I am also, picking up sea glass because at the end of my training, I want to do some kind of artwork made out of the sea glass. So you'll see that I'll start stopping and being sidetracked by picking up sea glass. And sometimes I can get, like just now. That's a nice piece. Nice bit of sea glass, guys. Guys, I can't believe how beautiful this water is today. So, Bill, you've been on my chat a few times on my lives. The beach hasn't looked this beautiful, has it? Like, some days it can be absolutely spectacular, and then some days it looks horrific. But, it's just about the clouds. Like, if the clouds are beautiful, then it reflects onto the water, and it's just magnificent today, guys. Here we go. We got a seagull flying by us. If we're lucky, we might even see some pelicans up here. We've got some people doing some stand-up paddleboard up here too. So guys, yeah, it's absolutely beautiful. So beautiful today. So I've spent my morning doing my chores because in Australia now it's Saturday afternoon now. It is 1:45 p.m. in Australia. So I know you guys, Bill in Iowa, it must be like, what, midnight? It's probably midnight, wasn't it? Or was it 10 p.m. or something like that? Duck Lady Queen, are you in New Zealand? And do you have ducks? Because I love ducks. I have a bit of a plastic duck collection, but I have one particular plastic duck. It's my travel kind of friend. So because a lot of times I backpack by myself, I'm a solo backpacker, I take this little plastic duck with me as a little travel memento. So in my videos, you'll see me showing my plastic duck. My goodness, there's lots of people down here today. This is like, feels like a spring day. Honestly, guys, it's actually beautiful. A lot of boats out there today too. This is great boat weather because it's so flat. We've got someone fishing up here. Do you collect ducks as in like real ducks or plastic ducks? So what's your channel about? Do you have real ducks in your backyard or? Hey! Painful Life is Holly. Hello, Holly, mate. How you going? Actually, I wanted to talk to you. I have another channel that I subscribe to. I don't know if you subscribe to her also. Her name's Kathleen's Place. She's from Swatchwa, I can't say that properly, Swatchwa in Canada. And she's trying to get back into art. And I said to her that I'd love to do a live with her, just, to encourage her and to encourage me to do some art. And I thought I'd love to get you on too. Like I get a few people that love art, and we'll get on a live together and do some art while we're having a chat. I don't know if you're interested in that, Holly. So I'm just going to put the phone down, guys, because I don't want to take, photos of children enjoying their best life. Have a look at my feet. Oh, here we look. Got some more sea glass. That's probably more rubbish, to be honest. Guys, how beautiful is today? Honestly, guys, it's so beautiful. So we've got some people stand-up paddleboarding over here. Bill has a duck sign by artists. Okay, Holly, I'll send you an email and we'll try to organise something. Do you know who I'm talking about? Kathleen? Kathleen is probably about 60 something, I'd say. I hope she's not listening. If she's listening, I hope I haven't insulted her. I'm sure she's around about that. She documents her life as she broke up with her husband, and she's also got some chronic pain and some stuff happening in her life that a lot of people can probably sympathise in. So anyway, that's her channel, and she does a bit of art. So she did a lot of artwork. She does acrylics. I don't know much about acrylics, to be honest. And I'm more into watercolours. So when I go travelling, instead of taking a photo, I will sit there and take a photo, but I'll also sit there and I'll just try to paint that. So that's what I kind of do. Like, instead of having, photos and videos of places, I'll have a memento of a little picture that I painted. I have like an A5 book and some travel watercolour paints and just a paintbrush with it's got water in the back of it. So it's really handy and it's very light and easy to carry around. And obviously I'm not travelling at the moment, I'm home. This is my backyard, so to speak. This is only 5 minutes from my home. But sometimes I will sit somewhere and do some art. I haven't done it recently, that's why I really want to do this live, Holly, so that I can get back into it. About 2 weeks ago, I had a Friday morning off, and there's a group called Urban Sketches. They're all over the world. They've got Urban Sketches Brisbane, they've got Urban Sketches Sydney, apparently they've got them in Paris, all over, and apparently in America too, Canada, and I actually joined one of their groups, like a meetup group, and I went to, out this way is the airport, and then a bit further out is actually Fisherman's Island, where all the freight boats come in. And yeah, anyway, so out there they've got a lookout on the 7th floor. It's private, but apparently if you're a group, you can use it and it's free. So you just got to book in advance, but you can go up there on the 7th floor and it's got a really nice view over like the harbour, so to speak. So like it's quite interesting to paint, the shipping containers and see all the big cranes lifting on all the shipping containers and the big boats. So it was really interesting. So yeah, I met a whole lot of people. There was about 12 of us, I think. And what they do is, you paint for a couple of hours and then they call it a throwdown. And you throw down your picture and, everyone gets to have a look at the pictures. Now, I'm no expert or any professional at all. I just do it for fun. But, oh my gosh, I got some real envy. There were some really good painters. And I got some really good ideas too. So I just paint with watercolour. And this guy was painting he had a pen. So he would, with a biro, he would draw and then he would paint in, colour in the lines kind of thing. And it was really kind of effective looking. So I'm going to try that next. So anyway, I don't know when we'll try to do that, but we'll have to try to sort out, obviously, between all the different time zones, when we can do that. So people in the chat, painful life is Holly. She is she's an arty kind of page. So she does quite a few different things with art, and she does do live streaming of her art projects. What was that thing you did the other day? Doodle something? And it took you many hours to do. Tell people in the chat, that was really interesting. Like you did it over a couple of lives because there was quite a lot of work involved in it, and it really looked great at the end too. So it was good to kind of catch it, the start, middle, and then the end when it was finished. That was really, really cool to see. Yeah, Zentangle. Doodle. Okay, same, isn't it? Zentangle. Dangle. Oh, I can't believe how clear it is today, guys. It is so beautiful. So Mandy's got, I'm going to an adventure to the mailbox. Well, it depends on where you live. It could be quite an adventure. Oh, look at that. So, happy 4th of July to my American friends out there. Did you guys do anything for 4th of July? Watch the fireworks? You nearly got hit by fireworks. Yeah, Holly, download StreamYard, it's free. Don't do what I did. I thought I'd be smart and just test out the free version, but you get a week for free and then it kicks in the price. And then I completely forgot I was going to Sydney the next weekend and I forgot to cancel it, didn't I? And it hit me twice. It was $28 Australian a week. I was like, what the hell did they do for 28 Australian dollars a week? So I was able to cancel one of the payments, but the first initial payment I had to suck up and take. So yeah, don't do what I do. Just do the pure free version. Don't fall for, try it out for free, 7 days for free. Don't fall for that because you will forget. Because you are like me too. Oh, your mailbox is 3 steps away from your front door. So I've been doing these lives while I've been training for this 30k walk or 22-mile walk I'm doing on sand. It's in 2 weeks' time, but I've been training for the last 2 weeks. So I think that's good timing actually, 4 weeks of training to get me kind of, fighting fit for the walk. I've done the walk before. It's not easy. Sand is hard work to walk in, especially if it's really soft. And, okay, there you go. That's probably more rubbish sea glass than real good sea glass. I pick it up anyway because it just gets it off the beach and I'll sort it later. Like I just don't want a bird or a turtle or, someone to stand on it and hurt themselves or swim on it. Because there's this whole lot of people up here swimming actually. Some kids swimming and mum swimming. So when I get close up there, I will put the phone down. I don't want anyone gawking at someone swimming. It's not that kind of channel. I was just looking at some lives, guys. And hey, Paul, how you going? Thanks, Paul. How are you, Paul? How's your stats going? Paul is from Phillip Island in Victoria, down the bottom of Australia. So completely different area to where I live. And Paul, how beautiful is today, mate? Like, if I'd known how beautiful this was, I'd actually probably go for a swim, to be honest. It is so gorgeous. So beautiful. Oh, did you say hello earlier? Sorry, I might have missed it. It's a bit glary, or I can't see very well today. Yeah, so what's your stats like today, Paul? Or what's your stats been like in the last couple of days? We kind of cheer each other on with our walking kilometre-wise or steps-wise. So I use iPhone, and I know you've got an Android phone, but my health app tells me kind of my averages, how I'm going, and this year I'm walking way more than I was last year, so that's really good. So I really did, like last year I did do a fair bit of walking, but I probably was a little bit slack. So this year I picked up the slack, and it's good to see the averages say that, I'm definitely walking a lot more. Oh, actually, think about it, last year I didn't do this 30k walk, so I wasn't training as much. So normally I train in the morning, so normally I don't train for like a 30k walk. I just train in the morning before I go to work. So about 3 times a week I'll come to the beach around sunrise and watch the sunrise and then walk along the beach. Not necessarily on the sand, there's a path just above, so I don't have to get dirty because I'm precious. I don't like sand in my feet. But last year I didn't do this walk, so maybe that's why my averages are a lot higher this year, because I'm doing lots of walking. Because like I'm averaging at the moment, I'm doing about 12 to 13, 14 Ks a day. And that's not on sand. That's like in the morning with my work. I'm on my feet all the time, walking around and doing stuff. And then I walk in the morning and then I walk it in the evening. So yeah, I'm doing about, averaging about 12 to 14 kilometres a day. I don't know what that is in miles, guys, but that's a fair bit. So I'm not too worried about the 30k walk. Oh, we have a little pelican to show you. We'll just stand here and let him come to us. Oh my goodness, guys, look at him. How beautiful is that? Hey, Doran, how you going, mate? Check out Mr. Pelican. I'm not going to move because I was here first and he's just come over here. Also, I don't want to get in his face. So I'll just stand here and just take him in. He's so gorgeous. Isn't he beautiful? So guys, the source is my mate from Maui. He has a very interesting channel. He's just been monetized actually. And he shows a lot of stuff about the beaches in Maui. And he does a lot of stuff about getting us together as a community. So he does a lot of lives, and he does some interesting lives where he gets people on and they do karaoke and singing and play music. So it's very interesting. So you should check him out, The Source. Actually, if you're there, Doran, still, do you want to put your channel name? Because I know yours is The Source 479, I think. The Source 479. I can't be completely sure. There you go. Oh, I was right. How good am I? I was actually right. Sometimes I'm very, very wrong, though. Oh, look. I can't even move. I just want to stay and just look at him. He's just so beautiful, guys. Seeing wildlife in the wild is something that you just can't be tired of. Like a couple of days ago, I was platypus chasing, and even though I didn't see the platypus, I've not given up, because seeing platypus in the wild, swimming around the river, is just such a beautiful thing. So I might come up to my mum's next week sometime. I don't know what day I'll be up there, but you'll see. I'll be doing a live probably. You know me, just doing lives. Because I'm going to be honest, it's easier than doing content at the moment, making videos. While I'm training for this 30k walk, a lot of my time is being taken up, doing extra walking. So normally in the afternoons, I come home and then I have time to edit my videos. But I'm coming home and actually doing extra walking on the sand just to get myself fit for this upcoming walk. So ordinarily I wouldn't be this close to this bird, to be honest. But I was walking along and then he came swimming up or gliding up and he just went on the beach. So I figure if I just stop, I'm not getting too much into his face. How is this for a winter's day, guys? Like, honestly, my skin is actually getting a nice little tingle from the sun. Getting a is it vitamin B? Vitamin B hit? Was it vitamin E? I don't know. So Dorian, you got a frog. Is it a green frog? Green frog? Hey, Mel. Mel runs things. I just had one of your friends on here, actually, that I saw on your live this morning. Duck Queen. The Duck Queen? Or she might even still be in the chat. I don't know. So that was interesting to meet her. And obviously the source, Mel runs things. I know Mel runs things through Karen from, what's her channel name? YouTube over 40 or 40 over YouTube. And then I realised that you are you're quite involved in the Doran's community. So I was like, oh, isn't that nice? We're all interlinked. And I want to sing, we are family. Okay, we have to keep on walking, don't we, guys? I mean, I could stand there all day and stare at him. But we're going to give him a bit of a wide berth. And he's looking at me. He's like, I'm looking at you, looking at me, looking at you, looking at me. I'm looking at you, looking at me. He's very aware of me, making sure that I'm not doing anything bad. Because I am carrying a bucket. So he's probably like, what are you going to do with that bucket? But they do seem quite tame because they get up close and personal with the fishing guys that fish along here. Look at him, he's looking at me. Look at me. I'm looking at you, looking at me. Okay, let's leave him alone. That definitely is the awesome part of YouTube. So please, Mel, meet Paul D Australia, and Doran. Meet Paul. Paul's a great creator from a fellow Australian. We're always great, so you need to check them out because there's not a huge lot of Australian creators out there, to be honest. They all seem to be American based. Have you noticed that? Like, most people are American. I guess, there's a big population in America, isn't there? But yeah, Paul D he documents some of his travels. So he had a video just recently about Krabi in Thailand on one of his holidays there. And he showed us some wallabies, some black swans, some baby black swans in his shorts. I had no idea there was so many rocks here, guys. When I'm walking along here, normally it's just sand. So there's a lot of sand erosion. Obviously there was a big tide. So guys, this is Redcliffe. This is where I live. The peninsula of Redcliffe is in Moreton Bay, which is Moreton Bay here. And then there's an island out there called Moreton Island. I'm just not going to capture that child. There we go. He's off the beach. I can't believe all the rocks. It's not like they were just dumped there. So obviously the sand has been higher. And this, whoops, nailed. Got nailed. Yes, Paul, you can laugh all you like. I just got nailed. 1 foot wet. Soggy socks. Soggy socks. Oh well, there's worse things in life, right? And to be honest, guys, oh look, guys, there's water police. You don't actually see them very often. That's Australian water police. Haha. That's interesting. I hardly ever see them out. I mean, I'm sure they're out, but just not along here. Okay, see you, Paul. Have a good walk, eh? Enjoy. Get those averages up. Wow. Mr. Policeman, looking for that bad fish. Oh, some people going kayaking. This is a real nice winter day. Can you believe that this is winter? People are out swimming, kayaking, stand-up paddleboard we've seen, playing on the sand. These are the days that I love walking on sand. Like, it's a pleasure. Like, honestly is. And sometimes I get out here and it's not a pleasure. Like, it's cold, and I'm physically, my hands are in my pocket kind of thing, and I'm holding onto the phone going, it's cold. I think it was last Saturday. It was raining. I think it was last Saturday. I don't know. I can't remember. One of the days it was raining. So we're not going to be able to go all the way around the beach. I normally go to the point over here, which is Scott's Point. I'm going to stop here because there's a few people down there. I don't want to shove cameras in people's faces. It's not right to do. So we're going to keep on going back the other way. And I'll show you Lavender's Rock, which is a beautiful love heart rock that's been affectionately named by someone that comes into the chat, Lavender. And she noticed one day when went past it, she said, hey, that looks like a love heart. I had never ever noticed it before. So isn't it interesting how sometimes you can walk past things and never ever notice something, but then when you have been told by someone else that just happened to capture it, you're like, oh, yeah. So anyway, if you're with me later on, I'm walking down. There's another point down there. That's where we're walking. So if you want to walk with me, you're welcome. If not, that's all good. I'm going to do it anyway. Yeah, the phone's not very stable. I did actually have a tripod selfie kind of stick in my car. But I'm going to be honest, guys, I'm just doing it for this fun. I'm not doing it to be professional or anything. I think when you do videos, like we edit them, it stabilises it more. But because I'm walking on sand, it's not so stable. Someone has said to me one day, oh man, when you got up that quickly or you went down that quickly, I nearly, had a head spin. Hey Kathleen, how you going? Hey Kathleen, I was literally just talking to a friend who does art, saying that I wanted to do a live with her friend Kathleen. I talked about you and your channel. And if Holly's still there, Painful Life, squirrel. She does lives on doing artwork too, and we just thought, yeah, let's get together a few people and do some different art together. And like Mel does art. She does diamond art, which is really cool actually. I've never done that before, so maybe Mel you'd be interested in too. So do you guys know each other? Kathleen, do you know any of these people? Introduce yourself in the chat, guys. Oh my gosh, look at that. That was pelican. God, they've got some wingspan, haven't they? And there's this guy. So I'll introduce you to Kathleen. So Kathleen is 50 something and she's documenting her journey. She did have a breakup with her husband, so she's documenting a bit of that. And look, I think a lot of people can relate to breaking up with partners and that journey and what that involves. And she also has had some chronic illness that is also, she's sharing that journey and how that has affected and what she does to help her mental health with that. And art has been part of her mental health journey when she was in hospital. So she shares that kind of journey on her YouTube. Mel Run Things. Well, Mel, I don't know if I'm selling you right, but do you do a bit of artwork on Art Diamond? I haven't really seen any other videos. Maybe I've just caught all your lives. But what do you post about normally? Do you post about Art Diamond work also. I must have just seemed to be catching your lives where you do your art diamond lives. And Mel runs things, I would say, I don't know, I'm just going to guess 40 something. Let's go, let's say we're all Gen Xers. Now Doran, if Doran's there, I don't think Doran's a Gen X. Because I think you're just like 38 or something, aren't you, Doran? So Doran has a channel. He lives in Maui, Hawaii. He's originally from, you're from Iowa kind of area, did I hear? You lived in Iowa normally, and then you moved to sunny Hawaii. Why not? And him and his partner, Deb, I'm guessing you live not too far from the beach, because he does capture his beach moments a lot. But what Doran does a lot, which he does really well with, is join communities together. And he does that by doing lives and getting people on lives and doing, fun lives where, there's singing. He had a guy called Frank's Music the other day, I think. And he was pretty good. He was like, had a guitar and he had background music and he was a great singer. So there was singing, and then you have some people on talking about faith, lots of different communities. And like what you've done in the last 6 months I've probably known you for about 8 months now, Doran, because we met doing a 30-day challenge. And yeah, since then, Doran's channel has just gone boing. So he's on 2,000 plus people that subscribe to him. And, he's just got 3,000 watch hours. So he's killing it. And I believe you just got monetized. So what does that mean? Like, 'cause I thought you had to have 3,000 hours watch time to be monetized. Oh, Kathleen. Okay. This is a development. Is this a good development? I hope so. Wow, okay. I missed that, Kathleen. I did not know that you were back together. Wow. Are you happy about that? Okay, let's talk about that another time. But yeah, okay. So Mel's a lifestyle. Actually, Mel, you know what I caught yesterday? You did Celtic music. Like it was on like a long live stream. I was curious on where you got the music from. So did you create that music? Because it was beautiful Celtic Irish music. Love Irish music. It's so beautiful and so relaxing to listen to. You're over 3,000 now, Doran. Bloody hell. Go, man. Go, man. Great. So there you go. So obviously what Doran's doing is obviously working on, more about community and bringing people together. So that's awesome. And it's hard work. You've done a lot of hard work with that. I've got to say, I've only been doing lives for the last 2 weeks doing these walkings, like when I'm training. And I've been adding in a couple of random lives here and there because I thought, well, you know what? When I was overseas, that's what I was doing lives. Like when I was in Samoa, I know a few of you caught me on my Samoa trip. And then when I was in Luxembourg and France, some of you guys caught me. And I was literally just doing lives because, well, I'm not going to sit down and edit when I'm in France. I'd rather be out walking the streets of Paris than sitting on a computer trying to edit something for YouTube. Going to be honest. And since coming back, I really have been hit with just being happy to be home, to be honest. I mean, I love travel, but I also like being home, catching up with my family and friends. This training has really taken up a lot of my time, so I haven't been editing my videos. I haven't posted anything on a long form video for like 3 weeks. Not that concerned, to be honest. I don't do this to, think I'm going to be a millionaire. Hey, if I can get monetized, excellent, but it's not my complete, goal. My goal is really to document my travels and my adventures so that, it's like a new age photo album, like, the old photo albums that we used to print out photos and put them on the, put them in photo albums. Well, this is my new age photo album. I'm documenting, my training to do my 30K walk, and I'm sure I'll capture a bit of that live. And that'll kind of be there's a playlist called, training for my 30K. So that will be nice that, I can document that so that, in the future, if I'm like feeling down on myself, and I can go, man, stop feeling down on myself. Look what you did. You trained and you did a 30K walk. And I can see, me walking on the beach and, all the Ks I've done to get my body into gear. Anyway, so that's really my why on YouTube. Not my why on why I'm doing these walks. This walk is a walk with purpose for my friend Esther, who had mental illness, and unfortunately that took her life. And yeah, I did a live the other day and I got pretty deep to talk about that, so I don't really want to get too deep in that today. I want to keep it light and happy. But mental health is a serious topic, and I do touch on that in some of my videos. So Kathleen, you're saying that art was a lifesaver for you. That's awesome. I love that. I mean, I don't love that art had to save your life, but it's beautiful that you found art and how great it did. It helped you, it helped your life and your recovery, I think. So Mel, you're a trained chef and you do photography. Wow, that's great. Yeah, definitely check those two channels out, Kathleen. Oh, definitely, Mel. Like I said, I do this for my own mental health too. Like, who's to say in the future that I don't suffer some kind of breakdown and, need the help of a mental health organisation. And if currently, the sad fact is that if I needed a psychiatrist today, I wouldn't get one. I wouldn't even get one if it was Monday to Friday. I wouldn't get one in a hurry. I'd have to be on a waiting list. It could be 6 months till I see a professional psychiatrist. I could probably get a counsellor, like an online counsellor kind of thing, but they're not going to be as trained professionally, depending on, what the circumstances was. I had a girlfriend, so I've done this walk quite a few times. I'm not asking for you guys for donations, okay? I'm not saying that at all. But what I'm saying is I was talking about my journey with the walk on my Facebook, my personal page, and a girlfriend of mine reached out and said, hey, wow, I knew her brother had also been taken from mental health, but her son was suffering. And she goes, it's so sad. My son is he's 17, he's an absolute mess. He can't go to school, he can't get a job. He's just at home in his room, and she can't get into a psychiatrist. So she's on a waiting list, and, she donated some money. She's like, just, you're doing the walk, keep the awareness going, because, it's so sad out there. Like, there's not enough trained professionals to meet what's going on in this world right now. It's so sad. And social media itself is probably also the reason why some of the mental illnesses are coming, especially for our young people. They're suffering so many conditions because, they feel isolated. There's bullying, online bullying, cyberbullying. Yeah. So anyway, so that's right. Yeah, I do it for my friend Esther, of course. But I definitely, like you said, Mel, I'm doing it for future, for my future self, my future friends that might need this support. And the awareness that, it's not a stigma anymore. Like having an illness that you can't, it's not your fault. Like people can be born with a mental illness. People can literally lose their job and go nuts. I say that in a nice way, like, go literally loco and end up with some kind of mental illness. It's not their fault. I've lost a job before and I nearly went loco because at that time I'd lost my job, I'd broken up with a boyfriend, and I was moving house all in one go. And I was drinking alcohol quite heavily at the time. I was a mess. I couldn't deal. Like that's 3 big things in my life all in 1 month. And I used alcohol to help numb the pain. And I was just lucky that I had friends and family around me to help me. Otherwise, I don't know where I'd be. So, yeah, it's a real condition. Yeah, Mel, honestly, when we're not alone. I think individually, all of us probably have at least one handful on our, that we could mention that, we're walking for. So, not only am I walking for my friend Esther, like my childhood friend who I used to grow up with and played with at a young age did it too. It was the first dead body I ever saw. I actually, at the funeral, I didn't realise this, but, they had an open casket and I didn't know what to do. I feel like everyone was going to the coffin and I didn't want to go to the coffin, but I felt obligated. And then when I went to the coffin, I couldn't believe it. I was just like, oh my God, why are you lying there like that? Like, what the hell? And I touched him and I was like, patted him like, what, are you alive? Like, are you really dead? Like, yeah. And I think I was about 20 or something like that. It's a long time ago now, but, those kind of, they affect you. Like, when people, I know it's not their fault that they've committed suicide, that's for sure, I'm not saying that. But it's the after effect. My friend Esther, like her husband, her children, and I've spent a lot of time with her husband. I organised her memorial because he couldn't do it. They didn't have a funeral, they just cremated her. But she was cremated and her ashes are still at his house. And it's 4 years on. And, I've been keep on saying to him, like, it's great that you want to keep some of her ashes, but some of her ashes need to be going where that she wanted to go. She wanted to go to her favourite camping ground. And I know that, like, he just can't bring himself to do it. So, everything takes time. And after she passed away, it was about 7 months after she passed away, I helped organise her memorial because he wasn't in a place to do it. So, yeah, we organised such a beautiful day for her. I found this really beautiful kind of farm area and it was just a beautiful, like, it's so sad that we have to celebrate people's life and it's like the party of their life and they're not there. I read something this morning, actually online, that don't give flowers to people when they're dead. Give them now. Like, for example, my mum. I'm going to do this. I'm going to buy my mum some flowers when I go up and see her next week, and give her some flowers. Like, why would I give them to her when she's dead? So anyway, just thought that's an interesting kind of take that, give people flowers when they're alive. I know what you mean, Mel. See, can you see why I don't use my real name? So, I don't know. I forget who I tell and who I don't tell. But I know Doran knows me here as Mutiara. So Mutiara is actually my real Christian name. So Dora is just a nickname. So that's why I don't use Mutiara, because in a chat, no one's going to be able to say Mutiara. You know, there's a lot of short versions of Mutiara, as you can imagine. Mutiara. So I don't particularly want that used too much. So the tide's coming up. I'm going to go around the other way now, which is just up here. Yeah, that's it, Kathleen. Obviously, I've talked about my real name to you guys before, haven't I? Ugh. So back on the beach we go, guys. Back on the beach we go. Actually, I'm going to stop for a second and have some water. Because, you know, mental health is about looking after ourselves too. And drinking enough water is another big thing. I do drink a lot of water, but in winter, because it gets colder, I tend to drink more tea. And that's a bit dehydrating on ourselves. Yeah, so Mutiara. So tiara with mut. Yeah, Mutiara. That's how you say it. But yeah, you don't need to call me Mutiara. Dora's much easier, because they just said it's just faster and easier. And like it's technically a name that many people call me. I have a few names. I think I talked about my other name, which is Sophie. So that in Indonesia, because I'm half Indonesian, most of my family, actually all of my family in Indonesia, call me Sophie, because that was the first kind of name, my first nickname when I was younger. I couldn't say Mutiara very easily. So I don't know how the name Sophie came about. I need to ask. But yeah, so all my family in Indonesia call me Sophie. It's not even my middle name. So yeah, it's very interesting. You know, I'll have people call me Sophie. Some people call me Mutiara. Some call me Dora. Some call me short versions of my name. There's a nickname to my real name, Mutiara, and it's Mugzi Lala. So this is a funny story. Oh, see you, Kathleen. Okay, well, you go get that sorted, Kathleen. Lovely to see you, and it's great that you're back with your husband, and I hope everything's going well there. Timmy, the racing channel. The source told me about your channel. Ah, cool. Hi, Timmy. Hi, Timmy. I'm Dora. And yeah, Dora and I have been friends for about 8 months. We did a 30-day challenge together. So he was all about, you know, challenging me to finish the 30-day challenge too. And yeah, building community, and yeah, we had fun back then. And obviously he's done really, really well with his channel. And yeah, so thank you for jumping on the live. I mainly upload about trying to chase 80 countries. That's my plan, is to visit 80 countries. But obviously I can't do that every week. I just went to country number 63 last month in May. I was in Luxembourg, and then a couple of weeks before that I was in Samoa. May was a really good month. It was my birthday month, so it was a really good month. So that's not a normal month. So there won't be any more travel for me this year. Maybe like around Australia, but not probably internationally. So that's why I do other things, like take you on my little challenge, my walk here. This is my local beach. There's a guy swimming. So this is winter time, right, guys? And there's just a guy going for a swim. It's probably really beautiful right there. There's girls standing up paddleboarding, people playing on the beach. So this is, yeah, so I'm training for a 30K walk, which is 2 weeks time. I just don't want to show people's faces if I don't have to. so you get to see my feet. Well, it's interesting to me. It's actually Saturday afternoon here. It's 2:40 p.m. on Saturday afternoon here in Australia. So welcome to sunny Queensland, and this is winter. So we're the opposite to you, because I'm presuming that you're in America somewhere, or at least in the Northern Hemisphere, because it's still Friday. So welcome to your future. This is Australia. Not all Australia is this warm. Down south, someone in the chat, there was Paul D. Australia, was in the chat before. He's on the bottom of Australia. Completely different weather there. But today is absolutely beautiful. There's people on the beach, there's people swimming, sunbaking, picnicking, and I'm training my legs for a 30k walk, which is about 22 miles. I'm doing it for a charity for mental health. So yeah, thanks for jumping on the live. Do you want to tell us a little bit about your channel, Timmy, and what you do? I'm guessing that you're a racing channel, just by the name of your channel, Timmy the Racing Channel. Okay, see you, Mel. Great to talk to you. And hey, great to see you on your live, and thank you for supporting my live. Isn't that great? Community supporting each other. Oh, you'll stay on. Okay, well, thanks for listening. Now you get to listen to podcast Dora and hear me ramble. Who knows what I'll be rambling about. Honestly, these kind of days I feel so blessed to be alive. I mean, I'm blessed every day to be alive, but like when it's beautiful weather outside, I pinch myself and go, I get to see this is my backyard. Like, honestly, I feel very grateful that this is my backyard. Like, I don't take it for granted. Like, I know in America, you can live in the middle of, like, for example, Arizona. You don't have ocean. Some people in Arizona have never seen the ocean. And here I am living on the coast, and this is my somewhat backyard, I can come down here. There's no private beaches. It's all public beaches. And, just the act of walking on the beach, it's so nice for your brain and your soul. Sometimes I come down and I take my shoes off and walk barefoot, and it's so grounding, just to touch the sand and squeeze the sand between your toes and get your feet wet. So nice. But this training that I'm doing, I have to be walking in shoes for the 30 kilometre, 22 mile walk. So, I mean, I have to be training in shoes, obviously. So I'm walking from Peregian Beach on the Sunshine Coast, which is about an hour that way. Very different sand to here. It's more white and a lot wider sand beach. And there's surf beach. So sometimes you can see whales out there. It's whale season now. So on my walk, we'll be looking out for whales. The first year I did the walk, I did 30 Ks, we actually saw whales while we were walking. Can you imagine that? How cool was that? It was very cool. So we're walking from Peregian Beach to Mooloolaba Beach. So, yeah, it'll be a fun little afternoon. Fun day, should I say. Just going to face you this way because I don't want to capture any children on the live stream. Here we go. You do race videos for people who can't get out and see the racing. Oh, okay. That's very interesting to me. Okay, so what was like, is that Daytona? I don't really know much about racing, okay? I know in Australia we've got Bathurst. Have you heard of Bathurst 100? That's one of our biggest races here in Australia. But the only one I know in America is like Daytona. Is that in Florida somewhere? That's all I really know about racing. Give us some kind of fast fact on racing. Educate us. Like, obviously I'm from Australia. I don't really know anything about racing. Give us some kind of fun fact or fun thing about racing that you'd like to share. I'll give you a fun fact. So where I live here, this is called Redcliffe. So this beach is called Sutton's Beach here. It's quite like the main beach in my little town. But Redcliffe is called Redcliffe because there's red cliffs here. So about 15 minutes drive from here, north in my peninsula, is down in Scarborough kind of area, is a place that by the water, there's like literally red cliffs. So hence, when Captain Cook first came to Australia, or not first to Australia, he came to Moreton Bay, he looked up and he went, look at those red cliffs. So that's why Redcliffe is called Redcliffe. Anyway, that's my little fun fact about where I live. It's pretty unique. Actually, I should do a live from down there. It's very beautiful, actually. The Red Cliffs, it's gorgeous. So anyone on the live, do you want to tell us a fun fact about something, interesting about their channel? If they're a gardener, something interesting about some kind of plant? Or interesting about where they live? I always like to know where people live. So like, for example, I had a guy called Bill Myers on the chat earlier. He's from Iowa, and he was telling me that Iowa is there. They plant lots of beans and corn for sale, like for production kind of thing. So farming area. So I don't know much about it, Iowa. My God, I don't know much about Iowa. I'll be honest. You've got so many states. I haven't been to all your states. I've only been to California and Florida and New York. And Massachusetts. But like when I say I've been to California, I've been to LA. That's not really California, is it really? So like, you guys have got lots of states. They're very diverse and very different. And it's interesting. So, without knowing people's channels, in the chat, we're just kind of able to, share different facts about where we live, where we're from. So that's always been interesting. So if you want to share where you're from too, and something interesting about where you're from, it's always interesting to know about, different geographies, different landscapes about where people live. Oh, you're also an ex-car racer. Cool. Did you so you obviously you race professionally? What kind of cars did you race? Here in Australia, there's a Holden and Holden and Falcons. Oh, sorry, Holden and Fords. Oh my gosh. They're the two main cars here in Australia. Holdens used to be made here in Australia. Now I think they're made in China or something. I don't know. But Holden and Ford are the big rivalries. So when they have the big car races here, so like for example, Bathurst 100, that's what it's about. Everyone's either going for Ford cars or Holden cars. So it's very interesting. I must say, I was dating a guy that was into cars, and he had like an old, oh, what was it, a Falcon? GT, blah, 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 I don't know. But it was worth a bit of money, and it was loud as anything. That doesn't really, turn me on, to be honest. I know a lot of people like loud cars, but, and he used to race it too, but not like professionally, just, we've got tracks here where people just race for fun. Race their, friend, like it's a professional track, but it keeps people off the roads racing, so that's good. And you pay a few dollars kind of thing. But he used to do that. But where am I going with this? Oh, yeah, so he used to watch all the car races. And he used to bet on them. And that kind of turned him into quite a sour person, because if he wasn't winning, he'd get really upset because he was going to lose some money. So, yeah, I don't have a very good experience kind of watching car races personally. So that's why, to be honest, I haven't really watched car racing in about 12 years. You race dirt tracks. Have I watched dirt racing? Like, are you talking about, they're not cars, they're like they're open air cars? Is that what you mean? Like dirt track kind of cars like that? So like when you're racing around the dirt track, like there's mud going everywhere. So it's not like a car that's like conventional roof for, walls and all that kind of stuff. It's got no roof, has it? It's like got bars, the roof. So when you roll, you're safe. Is that what you're talking about? Like that's dirt cars? Oh, so you used to watch Bathurst. You just got to a laundromat. Oh, you were so Mel. I thought you were Timmy then, Mel. I'm like, huh? Laundromat. People talking about laundromats. Okay. So now I get it, Mel. So you used to watch Bathurst. Yeah, New Zealanders are quite into the Bathurst, I know. Because, I guess we're not that far away from each other, so they sell the Bathurst to you guys too. Was your dad into the Fords or the Holdens? So we're just coming up to Lavender's Rock. I'm actually surprised I haven't seen Lavender on the live. I hope she's okay. Actually, she was on holidays. Yeah, she's on holidays. She's only 15 or something. But anyway, this is the rock that she affectionately called, I call Lavender's Rock. I'll just move that away. So normally, this is the end of my beach, and I kind of kick that nicely and then keep on walking that way, right? But she said to me, look, that's a love heart. Mel's got 2 V8s. Mel, you're a revhead. You're a revhead, mate. Okay. What kind of V8s have you got? So traditionally, oh, here, guys. See up here, that's the Redcliffes. So you can see a bit of the red. That's the Redcliffes of Redcliffe. It's only a little bit of it, but the area I was talking about before is like about 10-15 minutes away from here in this peninsula. But yeah, you can see the Redcliffes, hence why this is called Redcliffe. Holdens. So your V8s are Holdens, or that's who your dad used to go for? So this area, I grew up with all the guys had hot cars, and there was lots of racing on the streets. They used to hang out. There's a local 7-Eleven here. They used to hang out on 7-Eleven corner. Everyone would pull their chairs out, their deck chairs, on a Friday night, and basically people would hoon down the road. So that's the area I've grown up in. Lots of rev heads in my area. I've got very fond memories of my mates doing that. Okay, so you got a Mercedes and a four-wheel drive Jeep. Okay. Right, so they're V8s. Okay, so they're not hotted up. I just presumed hotted up. I should never presume things, hey? So you had to go to a laundromat because it's been raining at the moment. Yeah, I can only imagine you'd have to go. Otherwise, you'd end up with wet sheets and stuff, wouldn't you? And soggy sheets, and they smell after a while, don't they? They just don't get enough air in them. Do many people have dryers? Though I guess we don't. I don't have a dryer at home. But I know down south, where it's a bit colder, more people have dryers because it's just hard to dry things in the weather. Or they go to the laundromat. Do you have I know also the dryers don't fit big blankets and stuff in, so that, have to go to the laundromat. High-powered V8s, yeah, right, okay, yep. So your Jeep would be, yeah, definitely, and your Mercedes. Okay, cool. You like the pedal under the metal? Is that even right? No. Oh, look, guys. Here comes. Oh, my gosh. I love watching pelicans fly. That is so cool. Guys, if you just missed that, rewind the live and just see the pelican just flying past me. That was so cool. So cool. We don't have heavy feet. I don't know what I was trying to say there. Pedal to the metal, I don't know. Like you said in your live, you're not kind of politically, no, was it you that said you're not politically correct? You just say things. And there was a snort that just came out of me then. So there used to be an old museum up here. It was there for years and years and years. And now they've just turned into a green space. Very sad. The old museum got turned into a pub, like a restaurant, fish and chip shop. There was a wedding centre there too. And unfortunately, they decided they'd pull it down. They thought it was just a bit too much. It was too condemned. Every year they'd spend a lot of money on fixing it. It was a council property. So they just decided to get rid of it. It was very sad, to be honest. This beach there's no fish and chip shop here. Yet to go to a fish and chip shop, there's about 200 metres that way. I mean, it's not that bad, but sometimes people want fish and chips in a hurry. It's nice to come to this beach and there's fish and chips. So there we go, we've got some more sea glass. Okay, Timmy has said, please read my chat. Let me have a look. I'm talking about street race. Yeah, I'm talking about street racing. I used to be a street racer back in the day. We used to run from cops and everything, like the movies Fast and Furious. Okay, I'm going to tell you a funny story. I'm not a rev head at all, okay? All my friends, not all my friends, but I grew up in this area, and it's like I said, 7-Eleven on a Friday night. People put their, this is around I was 18 kind of thing. Some of us would go to the pub, some of us would be drinking in the street, which is not good, bad. Anyway, some of us were underage. Anyway, they would sit on the corners in their chairs, their beach chairs at night time, and they'd be like, run, 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 and people would be doing burnouts down the streets. Yeah, it was pretty funny. And look, the police would come sometimes and there'd be some chases. So yeah, heard it all and seen it all. But funny story, Fast and Furious, you were talking about Fast and Furious, Timmy. So again, No rev head, okay? I'm just... I was talking about my partner, my ex-partner's V8, and I hated it. But anyway, so I've watched Fast and Furious. I can't remember which number it was. I was driving home and I got a speeding ticket. I must have thought I was in a speeding... I was in like a car race. I wasn't speeding that much, but obviously I just watched this feel-good movie, you know, where they were racing, and I must have thought I was, you know, a race car driver like Timmy, my mate. And I got a speeding ticket. So yeah, I just thought I'd tell you that embarrassing story. Is the water cold? Is the water cold? A little bit cold? Yeah, so it must be cold, hey? Oh, yeah. So Granddad said, yeah, it was a bit cold. So guys, I'm about to walk back to my car, and I'm actually going to keep on walking. So if you want to, you know, do what you like to do, I'm going to stay on the live, because sometimes I get interesting people that jump on. And you know me, I just like to have a little chat. So I'm going to try to do, like, time I get back to my car, which is probably about 100 metres, maybe 200 metres up this way. That would have been about 5 Ks I've done, 5 kilometres. I don't know what that is in miles. Maybe 3, I don't know. And so I'm going to try to get down to the other side of the beach, and I'm going to try to do a lap. So I'm going to see if I can try to get 10 Ks in today. Because it's the weekend, you know, I'm not having to run to work or run home because it's dark. And then Sunday I don't walk. I might go for a hike or something, but I'm not generally going to be going on sand. I'm going to give my legs a bit of a rest from sand walking, because it does get, you know, it does hurt your limbs. That's the reason why I stay online, because it's about 3 o'clock now, but my friends in the UK, so obviously Mel, you know, Jazz and Marie, so like the Europeans start waking up. So it's always interesting to have a chat with them. So that's why I stay online, because I don't want to, you know, stop and then do another live. I just stay online. And half the time my phone runs out anyway of battery, so that's the time to turn off. It doesn't hurt to stay online, have a chat. Sometimes people stay on the chat and they don't actually say anything, which is fine. I actually get some people that stay on, they never say hello. I don't even know who they are. They could be just random people. It's interesting. And they just, yeah, they stay on the whole time. It's interesting. Yeah, the 1978 Camaro. One of my friend's dads had a Camaro. They're interesting cars, aren't they? You don't see many of them around anymore. They're probably really quite special now. Like back in the day, you know, I mean, I wouldn't say there was a lot of them around, but now they're really, really rare. I can't say I've seen one for ages. So sometimes we actually get car rallies that come down here, because you know, it's quite a famous rev head kind of place. We have car shows that actually come down into this beach at night time, so you can walk by and look at all the cars. But yeah, I haven't seen a Camaro in a long time. Look, there's a crocodile. 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 really like rubbish. There's not much rubbish today, which is great. Sometimes I have to take my bucket to pick up all the rubbish too. So given that there's a lot of people at the beach today, they would have picked it up already, which is great. I love seeing that the beach, you know, we're all looking after the beach and our backyard. It's kind of rubbish. A 350 motor and it got stock. It was stock. Not sure exactly what that means, but I'm guessing that means it was loud and it was fast. So legs feel good, feet feel good, no blisters, which is good. So I'm going to wear these shoes for the walk too, because I've been training in them and, like, you know, no blisters. Because the worst thing you could do is get new shoes before a walking challenge and then you get blisters. Putting phone down again, there's kids coming up in their togs. The swimmer's on, so I don't want to film that, obviously. There's some weirdos on this YouTube thing, hey? Which is good. I haven't got any weirdos today on. The big walk's in 2 weeks, Mel. The 18th. I don't know why, but I thought the 18th was next Friday. So when I did the thumbnail for this live, I was like, shit. You know, the countdown's on, because, like, literally it's next Friday. And then when I finished the thumbnail, I literally went, wait on. I think it's only like the 4th or 5th today. It can't be the 18th yet, like next week. And I went, oh yeah, I've got another 2 weeks. So the countdown's on. I've got less than 2 weeks, okay? It's next 2 weeks, just under 2 weeks on a Friday, the 18th. So it's a work day, so that there won't be so many people on the beach. Otherwise, it's hard to walk around people on a beach. And it's quite a popular beachy area where we're going at the Sunshine Coast. So there could be people surfing and, you know, sunbaking and all that. So you don't really want to be walking around people when you're trying to, you know, just get the walking done. So that's why they choose to use it on a work day. And then there's a lot of organisations that sponsor their staff to do it. So you have, like, normally it's a group of 4 people is a minimum. But now I think you can do groups of 2. But in the last couple of years, you would see, like, groups of 4 people and they'd be, you know, dressed the same, like, you know, tutus, and it'll say, like, you know, I don't know, JV Hi-Fi or something, you know, I'm just making it up, but, like, you know, different companies, organisations. So the first year I did it, I got a friend's company to sponsor, and she gave us shirts. So we had our name of our shirt, our group. We call Coast Trackers. So the group that I walk with, they did it 1 year previous to me, and then I fell into it the year later. Someone fell out of the group. They got sick or something, and they needed a person, like, literally it was like 2 weeks to the walk started, and they said, shit, we need to find someone, because if you don't have 4 people, you can't do the walk. So, like, they needed to find someone. Not everyone wants to do 30 Ks. So my friend's like, oh, I know someone. She knew that I liked walking and stuff, and I'd literally just done the 35K walk for another disability. No, not a disability. It is a disability. I can never know the name of the disability. It's called the Bloody Long Walk because it's a 35-kilometre walk and it's on the footpath. So that's hard too, on cement and pavement. But it's for a disability or a condition called motor, I can't even say it. It's like probably 20 letters long. It's not MND or anything like that. It's a rare genetic disease, similar to cerebral palsy, but it's not cerebral palsy. Anyway, this organisation, every year they do a bloody long walk. Very similar. They do it in most states, but it's always a good training for me. So I did that the first year, and then backed it up by doing a 30k walk on the sand and helped these friends out that needed someone to jump in their group. And then the following year I did it again. I think I've done it 2 or 3 times. I can't remember now, but I didn't do it last year. But I did the bloody long walk last year because you can do that individually. You don't need a team. And I do it with one of my hiking buddies, Kat. This year I paid for it and I didn't go because I was in Europe, because that was just a last minute trip. I hadn't planned to go to Europe when I booked the ticket. So I gave my ticket to one of Kat's friends and they did the 30k walk. And actually, Kat is doing 60k's in Coast Track this year. She's doing a 60k walk. I'm doing the 30k walk with these friends of mine. I would have actually challenged myself to do 60k's, but I really wanted to do it with this group of girls that I've been walking with, because it's not about a physical challenge for me. It's more about the reason why I'm doing the walk, the money we raise and the awareness that we raise for mental health. And I just think mental health is about also friendships and being there for each other. So walking with 3 other people and encouraging them, because these women are not big walkers like me. So there's a lot of encouragement. There's a lot of from my angle, I've got to slow down with my walk because I'm pretty much a fast walker, so I really have to slow down. So that teaches me patience, and there's a lot of skills in that too. So it's a hard day because you're trying to G up your friends, and we're thinking about we're talking about mental health and how it affects us and how it affects people around us, telling stories about different people that have been affected by mental health. I do a fair bit on Facebook, my personal Facebook, about it, and so it's a big thing that I do. And as I said, it's not just about challenging myself to walk 60k's, which I really want to do. I've never walked 60k's in one day. I think I'd probably die nearly, but I'd love to give it a crack. But that's my personality. I'm a bit like that. Oh, look. Have you ever heard of, the rocks that you can find, the painted rocks? Oh my gosh, look at that. Hope in God. Oh, isn't that beautiful? Oh. I found a few painted rocks around with little different messages on it, but I'm going to leave that there for someone else to find. That's beautiful. All right, so we've passed my car. So we've done a lap. It's not a true lap because normally I go all the way around, but obviously the tide's coming up, so we can only go so far. But we're still going to do a lap. Try to do another lap. I don't know if we'll do a full lap, but we'll see. What's my phone? We're at 40% on my phone, so we've still got a bit of time. The phone dictates how long I can do a live for. It does chew up a bit of battery doing these lives. Sorry, I've been missing the chat. Oh, good, Mel. Timmy. I know Mel supports mental health a lot too. So, we've talked a bit in the chat about mental health, but it's really important for men too, very much. Sometimes I do a live in the morning, and on this boardwalk here, there's a group of guys. They're all strangers initially, but they call it the Man Walk Club. So basically they walk twice a week. I think it's Tuesdays and Thursdays at a certain time, and anyone can join. Like men, should I say, not men, like women, but men. And they all just, walk along, and they always, if there's one by themselves, another person will have a chat with them. So they're just having a man walk while they have a chat. And I think they might do about, 2 or 3 Ks in the morning. But it's more about having a chat. And, because, guys are traditionally much worse than women. Women kind of are very expressive. Men tend to bottle things up. So I definitely have been there for my friend Esther's husband, who obviously lost his wife through mental health. He's definitely been suffering a lot of mental health since her death. And it's been 3 years. So I'm always, ringing him and checking on him, having a bit of a chat, encouraging him. He's getting back in the dating world, and that's filled with, trials and tribulations. He always says to me, no one's ever going to replace, Esther. And I said, no one will ever replace Esther. But, she'd want you to be happy. So I'm always encouraging him, that she wouldn't want you staying home being a bachelor. Not a bachelor, what do you call that? I don't know, they call it a spinster if you're like, stay home and have cats. What do you call a guy that stay home and doesn't date and just wants to be around their cats? I don't know, there must be a word for it, isn't there? A hermit. Oh, Mel. You know what, Mel? I'm really looking forward to Karen. Karen has her sons live at the Gold Coast, so she's planning to come over, and we're definitely going to catch up and have some wine and have a good old catch up. So I definitely think if I was ever over in New Zealand, I'd have to, meet up with you girls, you ladies, and if you ever come to Australia, do you ever come to Australia, Mel? Definitely, let me know and I'll meet up. Because I reckon we definitely get along. Our personalities are quite similar. We kind of, take the mickey out of ourselves and other people in a nice way. I don't think Karen did a live today, Mel, because I know how actually bad me. I don't work on computers all day. I know Karen, she works in an office, so she's on her emails quite a lot. She did send me an email saying that, do I want to do a live this morning? I just didn't respond because at the time I was kind of like in my day and I completely forgot about it. But no, I went and had a look later on and she didn't do a live. But I know she's got a live planned. Actually, she sent me an email also. There's a live planned, it's 6 p.m. my time, Australian, which would be 8 p.m. your time, New Zealand, on Sunday night, where she gets the European girls together. So I know that's when her next live is. I've been telling Karen that she needs to check out Doran's page because, Karen's very much a, get people together kind of person. And Doran's, obviously the same, like just probably just more on, more ultra on speed. I don't mean he's on drugs, but you know what I'm saying. Like he's pretty active in the community kind of stuff. And Karen's also like that. So I've always said, you need to check out Doran's page. And I've given her the details in the chats and stuff. So, because I reckon those two would get on quite well. Well, I don't think she did because I'm sure I went to her page and I didn't see anything in there that was live from today. Her last live was with Jazz, like 5 days ago. But maybe I was on drugs and maybe I got it wrong. Okay, so you go to Perth and Cairns. All right. Do you have family in Perth and Cairns? I'm in Brisbane. I've only been to Perth once, and I'm actually talking about doing a dive trip next year, actually. One of my good girlfriends from school, we're going to do some diving together. She wants to get her PADI dive ticket, and her son is actually a dive instructor up at Monkey Mia, what's it called? Monkey Mania, just like north of Perth, not just north. I think it's 2 hours north of Perth. It's where you can swim or you can dive with the whale sharks. What's it called? Monkey something. Do you know what I'm talking about, Mel? Oh, you haven't been to Perth and Cairns yet. Okay. Yeah, Perth's interesting. Very interesting place. Really beautiful place, actually. Cairns, oh my God. Cairns is lovely. Cairns is hot as hell, but the wildlife experience in Cairns is so cool. Like, to see crocodiles in the wild is wild. And then to have crocodile burgers in the Daintree, so tasty. And then to walk along the Daintree rainforest beaches, like you've got rainforest on your left, and then you've got this beach on your right, and you can't go anywhere near the water because, there could be a crocodile watching you. So, it's just these beautiful, beautiful beaches. And it's just like, it's so exciting. You're thinking, oh my God, like this water's so nice and the sand is so nice to walk on, but you've got to be careful because, don't get too close. Like this would be way too close because there could be a googly-eyed dinosaur, crocodile, staring at you and ready to rock and roll with you, literally. But yeah, driving through the Daintree was one of my favourite experiences in Australia. Honestly, I've been to Cairns a couple of times, but I've never been up to the Daintree rainforest before. So Daintree is about 2.5 hours away from Cairns, maybe even 3. So it's a good drive. So it's not, you don't always do it. And if you don't have a car, you have to do a day trip. I did a house sit up there and got used to their 2 cars. So that was good. So I drove everywhere. But yeah, we went up to Daintree twice actually. Mossman Gorge is another gorgeous place, another gorge. Beautiful place, beautiful rainforest, beautiful rock pools and waterways. You could swim there. They said there was no crocodiles there. But yeah, the Daintree was wow. And then, yeah, I did this boat trip. It was called the Whisperer. Something like the Whisperer. Solar Whisperer. It was a boat that was solar powered, so it wasn't motor run. So it wasn't loud in the water, so you could creep up to not creep up to the crocodiles, but like you could creep nearby them so you wouldn't actually disturb them. So that was a really cool experience. And you saw this massive one. I think it was called Scarhead. And he was massive. I can't tell you how big he was. I'm not very good with dimensions. But he was huge. Like, double my height. And he was huge. And I saw him, he was like scuttling, like, he went into the water. And so seeing crocodiles on the bay, on the beach kind of thing is pretty cool. But when you see them walk and scuttle into the water, wow, that's pretty cool. You've only been to Melbourne, Sydney and Queensland. So you've been to obviously Brisbane, the Gold Coast and Sunshine Coast, Mel? Sydney's always fun. Melbourne's fun. Oh, you know what, Mel? Look at my socks. I completely forgot to show your friend the duck queen. I was talking about how I have this plastic duck that I take traveling with me, like my little travel memento. And here I am with duck socks. Oh, I hardly ever wear my duck socks. And she would have appreciated those. Oh, well. Yeah, that's it. Mandy, duck queen. Cool. Yeah. I'm guessing her name is Mandy. I tried to ask her what her channel was about, if she raised ducks, but I don't think that was the case. I think she just liked ducks. Is that right? Didn't really kind of... Maybe she did it in the chat and I couldn't see it. Do you know much about her? Is she from New Zealand? No, she didn't tell us where she was from either. I did ask. Again, I might have missed it in the chat. There was a few people in the chat at the time. Like you said, sometimes it's hard to see things in the chat. It goes so fast. Oh, she's American. Oh, you just met her too? Oh, okay, right. I love getting to know people's channels and, you know, a little bit more about them personally. So Mel, what time is it? It must be 5:26 and you're home from the laundromat. What are you up to tonight? What's your Saturday night like? If you don't mind me asking. I'll tell you what I'm up to. I'm up to, we're going to have a little campfire in the backyard. And we've got some leftover roast chicken that we had last night. And we're going to roast some sweet potato in the fire, in the ashes. I think we've got some corn too. So we're going to have some corn on the barbecue. And then we're going to have some roasted marshmallows. So I've kind of been on quite a bit of a health kick in the last 6 months. And every time we seem to have campfires, I'm like my partner is like, oh, let's have marshmallows. And I'm like, well, you can have marshmallows, but I'm behaving. I'm not drinking alcohol. I'm, having a cup of tea and I'm not having any marshmallows. But I was on a health kick. I'm still on a health kick, but I decided that yesterday afternoon, I don't know, it was the end of the week and I had a bit of a headache. I had a big week, okay, I've had a big week. And I thought, stuff it. I'm going to have a can of Coke. I know it's really bad, but sometimes I needed sugar. So I got some sugar and I went and bought a bottle of wine. I only had one glass of wine last night, but yeah, I was supposed to be on the 1st of July trying to do dry July, just to, challenge myself. Just before I went on holidays to Samoa back in May, I did 2.5 months of no sugar, no alcohol, like no plain sugar. I had fruit. So I really did really well. And look, my body really does like it when I don't drink alcohol and sugar. And I was going to try to do that again. Look, I've had a great holiday. I was away for a month in Samoa for 2 weeks with my partner, and then I went to Europe for 2 weeks. So there was lots of, French wine, lots of cheese. Not that cheese is bad for you, but, I did eat a lot of rubbish. Because, when you're traveling and you're on the run, you don't sometimes make smart choices with your food. You're just hungry. So, yeah, I did eat a lot of crap, and I just thought, time to kind of clean myself up. I can definitely see when I'm getting a bit pudgy. I've got chubby cheeks. See my cheekies? When they're I've got chubby cheeks. I've always got chubby cheeks. I can't get rid of them. They're part of me, so I'm like, embrace them. But I can tell if they're too chubby. I've drank too much alcohol and I've ate too much sugar, so I get bloated in my face. That's the first place I kind of get bloated, and it goes to your boobs and in your stomach, eh? Too much information if there's guys on the page, but I don't care. But yeah, I hold my weight in my face first of all. So I was kind of seeing about a week ago, I was like, Dora, you might need to calm your farm on having way too many cans of Coke. I mean, I don't normally drink soft drink, but yeah, sometimes I just go through phases where I want a Coke. So anyway, I was trying to behave, and then yesterday afternoon I went, stuff it. I want a can of Coke. And I got a bottle of wine. So tonight we're having marshmallows by the fire. I'm looking forward to that. Having a campfire in your backyard is so much fun. We just live in suburbia too, so like there's neighbours around us. And it's nice to just have in the backyard, just thinking that, you know, you're in the bush somewhere. So anyway, what are you doing now? I should stop and have a little look. It's 5:26, yep. We go to the supermarket for quiet dinner and puppy minding. What kind of puppy are you looking after? There are sugar-free marshmallows. I'm not into sugar-free stuff. I'm like, I used to do a lot of Coke Zero and just, you know, read up. I know I'm one of those people that read up about things, and I just don't do the sugar-free stuff. So I'm going to have sugar. I'm going to go a full Coke instead of a Coke Zero. So I'll go the full sugar hit with the marshmallows. Yeah, Coke's okay occasionally. Yeah, you're right. But see, I'm a little bit all or nothing. So because I'm in this mode where I'm like, okay, well, I had a Coke yesterday afternoon. I haven't had one today. But, you know, maybe tomorrow on my Sunday, I might be out and about and I'll go, you know what, I'm being naughty at the moment. So what's another Coke for the collection? But if I was like I was on my, you know, behaving, I'd be like, I don't want to, I'll have a Coke. I feel like a Coke, but I'm not going to have one because, you know, I don't want to, you know, I'm committed. So at the moment, I'm not committed. That's what I'm trying to say. And mind you, I'm doing a fair bit of walking. I'm averaging about 10 to 12 kilometres a day walking because I'm walking in the morning on the beach. I get a fair bit of walking done with my jobs, and then I walk in the afternoon. So normally I don't walk in the afternoon. Generally, I do my exercise in the morning, and that's it, me done for the day. But because I'm training for this 30k walk, I've been exercising in the afternoon. So I'm definitely getting extra k's in. So I try to do like 6 to 7 k's a day. That's my average. Like that's about 12,000 steps. Hey, gorgeous. Hey, mate. Oh, I really do like pelicans. They're just beautiful. I live in the right place for it, I've got to say. Okay, you did the Stevia Coke. Is that like Coke, Diet Coke? Or is that Coke Zero? I got so bad with Coke Zero, I was doing like 3 to 4 cans a day. I worked in an office and we would take turns in buying the 30 packs of Coke Zero. And I think there was like 4 of us in the office. And we would drink, you know, 3 to 4 cans a day. So like every couple of days, it was someone else's turn to buy the 30 box of Coke Zero. And yeah, I was like, right, I've got to stop this. So I don't tend to buy Coke Zero at all. I'm like, if you want to drink Coke Moriara, you're going to drink the real stuff and, you know, cop the consequences of the sugar intake. I probably have a bit of an addictive personality. If you can't tell with like my lives, I've gone from doing like a live occasionally to like OT, like over the top. Like I've already done a live this morning from my yard showing people chocos because I talk about chocos. I think I've talked to you about chocos, Mel, haven't I? I think I did. Maybe it was someone else. Anyway, I was talking about chocos and then and someone said, oh, you should do a live. And I was like, oh, okay, I guess I could. So I did a live last week making scrambled eggs with chocos in it. And then this week I did a live doing a poached egg on toast with chocos as a side dish to it for my breakfast. And then I think next week I'm going to make choco chips. So yeah, some people are interested in that. So, and look, I think it's a bit of a journey. I love growing vegetables. It's like a bit of an adventure, like doing this and doing that and then seeing what happens. So to me, everything's an adventure. Like going to the local shop can be an adventure. The tide's coming up, guys. When we were walking down there. So yeah, it's definitely coming up. Whoa. Now, where are we going with time? We're on 30% left on the phone. Oh. It's a big bit of sea glass. So guys, I can't believe how beautiful today has been. I'm so glad I decided to go for a walk. I was at home doing things, washing the clothes, changing the bed sheets, those boring stuff, cleaning the bathroom, the things you put off through the week because, you're too busy being busy. And I was like, oh, I know I could do this. I had many things I could do at home. But I was like, no, you need to go for a walk. It's Saturday. This is the day that you try to get as many Ks as you can in on the beach, if you can. So, I did start late. If I started earlier, I probably could have got way more Ks in. But that's okay. I'd say by the time I finish this, I might have got 9 or 10 Ks in. And that's good enough. That's not shabby. Okay, are we going to go there and play Russian roulette or go that way? Oh no, we'll be right. Whoops. Oops. Go. Phew, we're all right. Our feet are saved. So I have a special pair of shoes. They're old runners, old shoes that I normally wear out on paths, walking, that I use now for sand walking. There's still a bit of support in there, but it's probably could use a bit more support in there. But then walking on the sand, it really does ruin your sand shoes. Because when you get wet, and you do get wet. I often get nailed by the sea water. So we're coming up to a place called Scott's Point. So this is Scott's Point here. And, you get a few people with their camper vans here. Technically, you're not supposed to stay overnight. But, who's going to dob on them? I'm not going to dob on them. But, yeah, the police could knock on your door and tell you to move on. It's quite hard in Australia now. Oh, shivers. Ah, shit. Oh, my God. Okay, nearly got nailed. Literally. Australia's hard now for van life. They've made so many rules that's hard for you to, to stay anywhere free, like wild camping or wild vanning, should I say. I really want to hire a van and go do New Zealand in a van, in a camper van kind of thing. I've hired a couple of vans in Australia because I'd love to buy a van. And my partner is a carpenter, so, he could, build the inside of it. So I'm trying to, egg him on by hiring vans and, getting him kind of into the field. So we did a long weekend for one of my birthdays a couple of years ago, and that was fun. That was a really cool van we got. We use an app called Campify. It's not cheap, but it's not, it's reasonable. And then when we went to Tasmania about 2 years ago, and we hired another van for that, and then Diego really liked that. I really thought I got him. I really did think I got him hooked, but yeah. So I'd probably need to do one more hire of a van, and then I reckon I might hook him into it. Hello, Dreco. Something about the US. So guys, I'm going to go to the bathroom here. So I'm going to mute you and turn the phone so you can't see anything. Okay, hands are washed and we've done our business. When you got to go, okay guys? Isn't this a nice view? Look at this, it just looks like the skies are forever. Yep, freedom camping, that's for sure. Oh man, so many people do the van life stuff around Australia. Well, like the grey nomads. But let's not wait till we retire. Oh, beautiful. All right, so we're back on the sand, guys. Back on the sand. Who have we got here? Yeah, someone called Hello. Are you from the Philippines? Because I think in the Philippines they use hello, that's spelt like that. Welcome to the chat. You're chatting with Dora, who's walking along the beach, training for an upcoming walk for mental health. And then you got Mel. Mel runs things in the chat. She's from New Zealand. She's from, oh my gosh, are you from Auckland? No. Wellington. Oh my gosh. You told me the other day, Mel. Where are you from? Karen was from Auckland. Maybe, oh no, you're from Hawke's Bay. So have you always lived in Hawke's Bay, Mel? And are you drinking some Hawke's Bay Sauvignon Blanc tonight? I'm more a red wine drinker. I do like Sauvignon Blanc on a nice hot day with a friend. I'd have a glass. But I'm traditionally a red drinker. I like a Cab Merlot or a Shiraz, Cab Sav. That's right. Yeah, you lived in Sydney for 6 months when you were like 19. Didn't you say that? That would have been such an experience. You don't drink alcohol. Well, good for you. I have a love-hate relationship with alcohol. I know it's bad for me. I mean, it was so bad for me that I actually got really bad. Well, my blood pressure went up. So red wine's not good for your blood pressure. It makes it go up. So I ended up being prescribed 2 medications to get the, control the heart rate. And then I just realised one day, I was like, you know what? Stop being a fat bastard and, do something about your diet and, stop drinking alcohol so much. So I really cleaned up my whole diet. So, yeah, so look, I know that, you don't have to be a fat person to have high blood pressure. And I wouldn't say that I was overly fat, but, I was chubby. I was overweight. I was being lazy. So, yeah, I've definitely got a better control over alcohol for myself. And I can go off it, for months on end. I think there was a time I went off it for 6 months to really clean, to just go cold turkey and just go, you know what, clean yourself up. But there was a time that I could drink a bottle of red wine on a school day a couple of times a week. Most times a week, actually. And on the weekend, even more. So I've really to have a bottle of wine last night and just have 1 glass. And it'll probably last me the whole weekend. It's pretty good. So yeah, I've had quite a journey with my own health and, just giving myself a bit of a kick up the arse, basically. The answers are in what we do. So I guess if we want to, live a more healthy lifestyle when we get older, we do actually have to address what we're putting in our mouth and our environment now. Wow, 23 years for sober. Okay, Mel. So I'm guessing there is a journey, your own journey back then, to why you've done that. So I don't want to poke into it. So, hey, look at our little pelican, resident pelican. He's now hanging out with the fishermen, waiting for a fish. I don't like the idea of, we shouldn't feed wildlife, but, I've got to say, these pelicans, they're smart. They'll go at the end of your fishing line and get them off you, and you obviously don't want them to be hooked by a sinker and a hook. Could you imagine hooking a pelican? Oh my gosh, I'd be dreadful. So I think what they do is they, give them a fish to kind of shut them up, so to speak. And that way leave them alone and then they'll leave your bait alone. Actually, Mel, I don't know if some of our news gets to New Zealand, because sometimes it does, because a lot of your news goes to us too. There were 2 twins. There were ladies in there, maybe they're about 60, but they're twins and they have a business called Twinnies and they rescue birds. And I can't remember what bird they were rescuing, but they were put on the news and they are so identical. They were literally, one was having a conversation, the next one would have a next conversation. They were literally finishing each other's sentences. It was so random. So later on if you're bored, Mel, look up Twinnies, Sunshine Coast, bird rescue, and you'll see a news article come up. There'll be quite a few of them. They became a bit of a social media, not joke, but people were sharing it on social media about the way they talked and where they finished each other's sentences. It was really unique. But yeah, they live in the same house. They just finish each other's sentences. It was crazy. It was so funny to watch on the news. And I'm not having a laugh at them, I'm just saying it was just really unique the way their relationship is together and that they're able to finish each other's sentences, and yeah, crazy. And then start another sentence and then just keep on going. They knew exactly what the other person was saying and what they would say, and then, yeah. Very in sync. So yeah, I think you'd probably appreciate it. It was actually very interesting. Yeah, Twinnies, Sunshine Coast, bird rescue, and they'll come up. So how many children do you have, Mel? And have you always lived in Hawke's Bay? I know you said that you lived in Sydney for a bit, but are you from Hawke's Bay originally? I've never been. I've only really been I flew into Auckland and then went straight down to Queenstown. So I can't say I've even been to Auckland, to be honest. Actually, no, Christchurch I went to. I think I went to the casino one night. Yeah, but I'd like to go to Auckland. They reckon it's very expensive to live, to visit there now. Oh, like most cities these days, it's ridiculous. I'd really like to go to Milford Sound. The only time I've been to New Zealand, I went on a ski trip with some girlfriends and a guy friend, and we hired a car and we wanted to see Milford Sound, but we didn't realise that you should check the weather before you go. So we drove all the way down to Milford Sound, which is like a good 3-4 hours away. I don't know, can't remember exactly how long it was from Queenstown. And then we got to the gates of Milford Sound and it was closed for an avalanche. And we're like, what the fuck? And what was worse, we ran out of petrol. We thought we'd get petrol in Milford Sound. Very bad move. So we eventually ran out of petrol. So it was myself, my girlfriend Julie, and her kind of brother-in-law at the time, Justin. We're walking along. It's freezing cold. It started to snow. And we're like trying to hitch and there's no cars. And then finally, we just got lucky. A family pulled over and they actually owned the local service station back in town. So, yeah, we got a lift back to the service station, got the fuel, and they dropped us back. And obviously, we had to pay the cost of the near taxi fee kind of thing, which is fine. We had to. But yeah, it was a bit of a rookie move to always fill up with petrol in every town, and not to expect that Milford Sound would be open. You've got 2 kids. You live in Rotorua, studying for 4 months. Oh, right. So is Rotorua as smelly as they say it is? Like rotten eggs? That's what they say. Because of the volcano, the hot spas. You're back, Paul. How was your second walk, mate? So what's your stats now? You must have done about 12 Ks today, probably even 13, 14. And what's the weather like this afternoon down in Victoria? Now, I don't know if this is the same pelican that we were looking at down there. There's a few of them that are resident here. Oh, he's making noises. Oh, no, he's not. It was a seagull making noises. Paul, you must be like, I can't believe you're still yabbering. So, Paul, Mel runs things. I think you've met on the live before. Mel's from Hawke's Bay in New Zealand. And Paul is from Phillip Island in Victoria. So he lives in a idyllic little island place where apparently you can see lots of whales. Well, there's different viewpoints where you could see whales. So I'm still waiting for confirmation of, when you see whales. You did see one whale a couple of weeks ago, a humpback. You said that was about 700 metres out in the water. So you get used to the smell. Did you used to go to the hot spas a lot yourself when you were living there? Paul, have you been to Rotorua? Do you know the smell that we're talking about? At the beginning of the year, I went to Indonesia with my mum and my sister actually, and my niece, and we went to a place called Brastagi. It's kind of in the mountains in Sumatra. That's my mum's from Sumatra in Indonesia, and we went on like a overnight. And Brastagi's up in the mountains, and there's an active volcano. It's called. There's a couple of volcanoes there actually. I did a mountain climb of Mount Simiak, and so around the foothills of the volcano, there's a town that specialises in all the hot spas. So we went to this hot spa, and it did smell. And mind you, my togs, even 3 months later, were still smelling. After even I washed them, I even went for a swim in chlorine, and they still smell like the rotten egg smell. So it's pretty, the sulphur smell is really, it's damning, isn't it? I'm amazed. You did 20,000 steps, 14.19 kilometres over 3 hours. Shit, Paul. That's good stats. Are you like speed walking now, mate? That's really good, mate. So you're getting your fitness up. I love that, Paul. So you can imagine your average. What can you see on your app? Like your average this month or last month? I bet you any money your June month was getting higher, and I bet you your July month is going to be higher. It's always good to check the stats. I love looking at the stats. So Mel, are you much of a... Well, you've got Mel runs things. Do you run? Sorry, Mel, I have to say it. Do you run? Are you a runner? I'm definitely not a runner. I used to run. I used to play a shitload of tennis, so running was, part of it. But from that, I've stuffed my knee up. So now I just walk and do lots of walking and hiking. I love it. So do you do much walking, Mel?
Maybe 100 metres off from the pipes out there. That little reef, and he's pulling a big snack. Where are those boats are now? No, I just go out that way. Yeah? Oh, cool. He brings
them. That's awesome, Paul. How are you feeling? Like, are you feeling more energised by doing a morning and then an afternoon walk? Considering you're just doing you're averaging one walk a day. Some days you're doing 3 walks a day, you said. But how's your energy? You did run. Okay, there you go. All right. So are you now doing walking, or are you doing much walking or hiking? Because New Zealand, you're like a hiking Disneyland over there. You're an event coordinate director for Parkrun. Okay. So you're often doing the 5Ks, or at least doing the walk and being the pace setter or organising the start of it. Okay. You get your exercise in. How many park runs have you done? The park run runs along here on a Saturday morning. One of my girlfriends, I've actually never done one. I just do them myself. I mean, I guess I'm quite happy to walk by myself. But I love the idea how it's really encouraging people to, join other people to walk and, count their stats too, like how many they've done. Because one of my friends, she's often putting on Facebook, celebrated so-and-so, they did their, 200th park run, or so-and-so did their 100th park run. She said she's up to like 80 park runs. I said to her when she got to 100, I'd do my first park run with her. So I could be doing park runs soon. Mel, I don't think I'll be doing them regularly. But yeah, they go at 7 o'clock in the morning here on a Saturday morning. But there's lots of them, aren't there? Every area has a park run now. Hey, Paul. Look at my duck shoes. My duck socks, duck socks. Duck socks. And I had someone on the chat. I met her in the chat on Mel's live this morning called Mandy Duck Queen. And I completely forgot to show her my duck socks. God damn it. I think I even saw her name pop up on Mel's channel, and I thought that was really interesting kind of name. So when I went to find my socks in my drawer this afternoon when I went to walk, I saw my duck socks and I automatically went, oh, I'll wear the duck socks. Okay, in summer you do 3 to walks. But how many Ks are you normally doing on average in summer? Or are you just pushing yourself to do more Ks in winter now? You're a park run family. Okay. So how many like runs have your kids done? Are they up there with the 100s and 200s? Oh, I completely forgot. I was invited tonight to it's a music, like on top of this is the Siebel Hotel, it's part of the Accor group. Oh, there's a guy playing the guitar there. Oh, how cool. Oh. But anyway, up on the top there, they have, not private events, but it's normally open on a Friday night and I think it's Sunday afternoon. But on Saturday nights, they've been having live music. They've got an 80s band playing up there tonight. And I actually think that's my friends there. Is it them? Let me just zoom in and see if I can see them. It'd be so funny if it was them. Actually, that is her. That's hilarious. Let me see if I can wave and see if she sees me. That's hilarious. That is my friend up there. I'm waving there and see if they're looking down. I'm trying to see. They're staring down. There, she's waiting. That's my friend Angela. She's actually dating my ex-boyfriend, and we've made friends. Anyway, they're going there tonight. They go there quite a lot, actually. That's their local these days. Anyway, I completely forgot that she invited me, and I was like, oh yeah, I was going to go. But here I am walking. Anyway, I've got a plan anyway. We're going to have a campfire tonight and have roasted marshmallows. I don't know if she actually recognised it was me. She just probably thought of some random, waving. So when I get off the live, I'll send her a message. You certainly feel well. That's good, Paul. And Mel's got 100. They walk it now. Son still does a little run. That's good. I wouldn't be running either. I'd be walking. The legs are not as enthusiastic about getting up that step at the moment. Are we done or are we done? I don't know. I was going to do a little bit more walking because I'm feeling good. Oh, shivers. Just tripped over some grass. While your body's feeling good, I feel like I need to keep on, going a little bit. So I've got 2 weeks, Paul, to the day. Well, under 2 weeks. I actually thought for some reason that it was next Friday. So I even named my title of my thumbnail this live countdown. Because I actually thought it was only next Friday. But I've still got another week and a half, haven't I? I've probably got 11 days, haven't I? 11 days. Well, 10 days. 10 training days. Tomorrow's a day off. So 9 more training days. Rain or shine, this girl's going to be training. And yeah, I'll probably be doing a live. And I'll, obviously talking more about mental health. I got real, I don't even know why I did. I try not to get too deep into my conversation about mental health because I know it does, not everyone wants to hear it. But there was not anyone really on the chat. So I was just like, I'm just going to talk to myself. And I obviously needed to get some stuff off my chest. And I literally was crying. I'm laughing at myself crying. But yeah, no, obviously I was talking about, the toll of losing my friend and supporting her husband. Yeah, I mean, Mel, you get it. I mean, I'm sure, Paul, you've obviously lost some friends to suicide also. Yeah, and I guess, look, these walks now become very personal to me. But yeah, oh God, it was Thursday afternoon. My God, I got, not that I got low, like I was depressed or anything, but like I was, really needed to obviously have a chat and remember stories about Esther and, what actually happened that caused her death and all the things. So yeah, I got deep and I got teary. And then, yeah, so one of the guys that, sometimes jumps on, happened to jump on, and we had another bit of a chat. Yeah, so anyway, it was interesting. But I'm not going to get deep this moment. It's been such a nice afternoon, guys. Cannot believe how gorgeous it has been. Like, look at the sky. It kind of reminds me, the Seinfeld picture. I mean, that looks just fake. It's just so beautiful, guys. I'm just going to go back to the car and get my charger. And then I'm going to walk back to the end of the beach and then back here. And then I've done 2 laps. And I'm happy with that. Hi, Brooke. How you going? I think I met you a couple of days ago, didn't I? On a live? Was it my live or someone else's live? I don't know. Hello. Did I even bring... Oh, yes, I did bring a charger. For a second, I was like, did I even bring a charger? I did bring a charger. Okay, charged. Is it charging? Yes, it's charging. I just disconnected it. Okay. Bear with me, look at my head for a second. Walking is hard work, guys. Especially on sand. I'm sweating a bit, you know. Oh, wait on. I've just noticed something. It says it's on 1%. Okay, that's not going to help me. Charger's not charged. All right. Well, guys, I'm going to finish anyway. I'm up here now. I'm going to get the sand out of my shoes. Anyway, guys, I'm going to love and leave you. So I appreciate you jumping on the live. Especially Mel, you've been on the live for a while with me and keeping me company while you've gone to the, gone the laundromat, gone shopping. Anyway, have a good night tonight. And Paul D. Yeah, you guys, sadly, yes, you have. I mean, look, I think we've not all escaped the, unfortunately, losing someone to suicide. I'll just show you how much sand I end up engulfing. Like so much sand. Yep, so Brooke, you've lost someone too. Yeah. Honestly, it's a subject that we all need to talk about a lot more. And I know it gets uncomfortable for some. And, I pick my moments because not everyone, wants to talk about it. But the true reality is that, we might even suffer from mental health in the future. So that's, a lot of this is not just walking, bringing awareness to mental health for, a friend that I lost, or, it's for my personal self. Like, who's to say that I don't actually suffer mental health one day, or, one of you guys in the chat, and that you don't feel comfortable talking to your friends or family, and that you can call, a hotline. Like Lifeline in Australia does a lot of really good stuff. Beyond Blue is the company that I'm raising funds for at the moment on my personal Facebook. Nothing to do with you guys. I'm not obviously asking you guys for money. But like, that's the company that's, I'm raising awareness for, or funds for. And Blue Care do a lot of programs for mental health in Australia. Do you have Lifeline in New Zealand, Mel? Do they do the 24-hour hotline in New Zealand too? Be curious to know that, because that way I could say, it's also New Zealand. Because I do a lot of the Lifeline challenges too. I can't remember the date, but there's a suicide prevention day in September, and it's like you do a 5K walk. So I always do that one. And there's a lot of 5K walks I do for different organisations. I documented one that I was away in New Zealand. Sorry, I was away in New Zealand. I was in Taiwan last year when it was on, and I actually did a walk around a place called Sun Moon Lake. It's a beautiful lake in Taiwan, and I dedicated it to my friend Esther. And when I did the walk, I didn't do a live. I just did a video and I edited it. And I think I did a really nice job of not preserving, but like talking about her. And I showed photos of her, and just talked about her in a nice light, and what happened. Because there's a day also, they do a remembrance day for people that have lost someone. And I'm actually going to get my friend's husband this year to come with me. He has talked about coming with me, but it's very raw for him. So I won't push him, but I'll ask him if he wants to come. See if he's ready. He might not be, he might never be ready. But I can only ask. I dragged Diego with me. Actually, he's not going to be here this year. He's going on a trip without me. How dare he? He watches me go on all these trips without him. And he's going, stuff it, I'm going to go to Europe. So he's going to Sweden to see his brother. His brother has a family that live in Sweden. And then he's going to go to Malta and Italy. I think he's going for a month. So I'm going to be home alone. It's party central at my house. I told him that. I'm going to have lots of parties at my house while he's away. Thank you, Paul. Paul's like my assistant. He's the assistant to Exploradora 80, affectionately known as Paul D Australia. You should check out his channel. He's got a great channel. He talks about his travels around the world. One of his last videos was about Krabi in Thailand and what he got up to there. He has a really cool little short on a wallaby, a baby wallaby. So that's always interesting to see, especially if you're from overseas, to see what a baby wallaby looks like. And some swans and some baby swans. Did I miss something this week, Wednesday? I don't know. I didn't actually see. I missed something already. I have to go check out Paul's page. He does a short on a Wednesday and he does a long form video. Oh, there's a long form video today. So he has a schedule. He's a very dedicated YouTuber. I think you're on 1,300 subs, aren't you? So he's very dedicated. He does a short every Wednesday and a long form video every Saturday, which is today. So I've got a couple of videos to catch up on you. Yeah, Brooke. Look, it's the least I can do, honestly. Least I can do. I feel very privileged to be able to do it. Let's face it, she's not here to do it. So it's the least I can do in her memory. And to be honest, I'd actually like to get her daughter to do one of these walks with me one day. But again, she's only young. Her daughter's only now, she's probably about 22, her daughter. So it might not also be ready for her. But I'll ask her. Unfortunately, I've left my bucket over here. That wouldn't have been good. My keys are in that. Unfortunately, my friend's husband, who's not the father of the child, her father is in Malaysia, and that's unfortunately the cause of my friend Esther's mental health, is because of her husband. And there was a lot of emotional abuse and physical abuse, and then she never got any help in Malaysia because mental health is not recognised. But I'm not going to get into that. But anyway, the daughter came to Australia to live here with the stepdad, my friend Mark, and they never got on. So I can't actually, unfortunately, it's really sad, I can't actually have them both do a walk together. So I might actually, I'll ask one of them to do a walk. If they said no, then I'll ask the other one. And if they both say, then turn back and say yes, then they'll have to deal with it, I don't want to be the one to force them to be, together for a reason. But, to be honest, for their mother or their wife or their widow, or I don't know what you call your widow, what would you call, so my friend Mark he's a widower. What would he call his wife? My dead wife? What do you call that? Well, it's still his wife. There's technically, they're married, but it's his widow. What do you call that? She's his dead wife. No, what do you call that? Pikachu, how are you going? I'm still here gas bagging. Do you mind me asking, where is your accent from? I'm Australian. G'day, mate. Is that a little bit more, Crikey. Crikey, there's a dinosaur. No, what does he say? Crikey. Look at him, he's a beauty. That's not normally my accent. But that's my accent now. So yeah, I'm from southeast Queensland in just 30 k's north of Brisbane. And I've probably done, I reckon I've done about 10 k's while I've been walking and gas bagging to you guys. And obviously I've ended my chat talking about a little bit about mental health and my friend Esther and how important mental health is for all of us, not just my friend Esther who's passed away now. So, she can't benefit from this, but obviously by talking about her and the walks I do, talking about just the awareness and that, this can happen to anyone. It's not anyone's fault. It shouldn't be stigmatized. Honestly, we can, anything can happen to us that we end up with a mental health issue. And it might even just be depression. And, there's people that have passed away by doing, just being very, very low and, maybe having some alcohol or some drugs and then making a wrong decision and, they're not here today. So they don't even have a recognised, technical, mental illness and they're not here today. So it doesn't even have to be a mental illness, So I just say that, check on your friends. There's a day here called Are You OK Day. It's okay to be not okay. And if you can't talk to your friends or your family or get on YouTube and tell the world, that there's places that you can get some help. There's Lifeline, have a 1-800 number that you can ring 24 hours a day. I don't know, Mel, did you say they're in New Zealand too? Did she say? It's not a knife. It's not a knife. It's not a. That's not actually. That's not Steve Irwin. That's what's his name? Paul Hogan. That's not a knife. This is a knife. Actually, my partner does that version. So Mel, did you say that Lifeline's in New Zealand too? Sorry, I'm looking like cross-eyed, like looking at the chat. I should probably turn it around so I don't freak you out so much.
Okay, then we see you.
Yeah, let's lighten the load, guys. Oh, look at this guy. Look at that sun right just there. He's stand-up paddleboarding. How beautiful is that, guys? Who can stand up paddleboard? Who's ever tried it? Whoa. Mel, we were just talking about rev heads before. See, rev heads are still around Redcliffe. They drive around, revving up their engines. It's so beautiful, guys. I was supposed to go, wasn't I? Actually, I'm just going to hold you here for a second so you guys look at that. I'm just going to get my protein water out of the car. I'll just lean you up here. If you fall over, I'll come get you, okay? So I've just got some protein powder that I'm going to drink after I go for a walk. Guys, how's that sky? How is that sky? So guys, I'm going to use you as my experiment right now. Be scared, guys. Don't be scared. I just got this, it's called a Joey. It's a great little tripod. But someone was mentioning before that, my footage is very, up and down. And I happen to have this in the car. I was just going to test it. Not that I care too much, guys, because I'm not like, I'm not here to be professional. But at the same time, if this works, we'll see. The problem is with this, I've got an iPhone and this border here, it goes on the side where you like the volume. And when you push the volume together, it actually activates like the emergency call. So when I do this, guys, if it clocks off, you know what happened? it didn't work because like it went to an emergency call. So if I go, you know what happened, okay, guys? So I'm just catching up. Hey Dora, you should do a video on the BG ways. Yeah, actually. It's at night time. Yeah, you're right, actually. That would be a good thing to do, actually, Paul. Okay, guys, so just bear with me. Let's see if this works. Oh, shit. Whoops. Okay. I'm just curious. Let me take my little duck socks off and we'll go for a walk on the sand. So I've taken my shoes off now. Let's just see. We'll just leave them there for a second. Does this stabilise the picture? I don't think it does. Like, because, I'm walking on, sand that's not exactly flat. So I'm going up and down all the time. Is that any more better or clearer than without the little tripod-y thing? That was my experiment. I wanted you guys to tell me if it's clearer, like not clearer, but like more stable. Or does it really not matter? To be honest, I think it doesn't matter. But I'm just curious while I had it in the car. Any feedback, guys? Did the little tripod-y thing help me stabilise the video a bit better? Or, I am walking on sand and it's not flat. So I don't think it's ever going to be stable. But I was just curious because I think Doran was saying in the chat, you probably should get one of the, it's not very stable, the video, and I get that. I didn't know that. I should check that out. But then I've got to remember to put it back on, don't I? Which I'll probably forget. But is it more stable? Does anyone think it's more stable? I'm talking about is the video while I'm walking more stable? Because I'm using that little tripod-y thing. I've actually connected it. You can see the leg go around. Whoops. Oh, no, you can't. I'm trying to pull the leg around. No, I can't. Oh, there might be a stabiliser setting. I think with the iPhones, they're actually connected in. I know when you're looking at the footage after the fact, it stabilises it. But I just think when you're actually on a live, I don't think you can. But yeah, I'll look into it. But I'm just curious, so no one actually has noticed any difference, hey? I don't think so. So I don't really need to walk around like a doofus with a tripod thingamajig in my hand. So anyway, we're getting some grounding, guys. So I'm on 7% now. I said I was going to go ages ago, and I'm still here. So anyway, Brooke, I think, where are you from, Brooke? Are you a content creator? Do you post about anything particular? Pikachu, what do you post about? Because I met you this morning on Katie Alaska, or Alaska Katie. She's a really interesting lady. I'll have to put her details in the chat. Oh, actually, maybe Paul, you met her this morning. No, did I this morning? Oh my God, today's are just melting into one. I did a live this morning. She was on live this morning, that's right. And Pikachu was on the live this morning too. I was doing, Paul, I did another Choco cooking class. I did Chocos with salt and pepper. No butter. I know you like the salt and pepper with butter, but I did the salt and pepper as a side dish with my poached egg for breakfast. So that was my morning. Once a week I want to do a live promoting Chocos, the little Choco, the humble Choco. So if you are at all interested in that, there's a live on that previous to this live. And there was one a week ago where I did a scrambled eggs with Choco. Okay, I'll look into the, if there is a function, okay guys? I'll look into that for your viewing satisfaction, okay? Because I care about you guys. Okay, so Pikachu, you don't post, my son does. This is why the name is Pikachu. It's 10:30. So Pikachu is in Alaska. So that's pretty cool. Hey, I don't think I've had anyone from Alaska on my live before, or even follow someone that's from Alaska. So I saw Pikachu on an interesting live this morning, a lady called Katie. And she was recommended to me by someone that we've met in the chat, a guy called Matt Launton from Cheshire. I think, Paul, you've met Matt in the chat a few times. So he talks about skinny dipping. He likes skinny dipping, okay? Not in a dirty way, okay, guys? But, he just, talks about skinny dipping and how, it's good for you. And it's like cold water therapy, isn't it, really? But just minus your clothes. Anyway, he recommended a channel that I should check out. I can't remember the name. It's something Alaska Katie. Pikachu, I met him on that live this morning, and then they jumped on my live after I did a live, when I did a live. Oh yeah, I better go, hey. I did this the other day. I was just talking away, and I even said, I'm getting low on chat, on battery, and then it just went dead. I didn't even say goodbye. I went dead. Yeah, so Pikachu lives really close to Katie. It was really cool. Yes, right, Alaska in the North Pine. Yeah, that was it. Yeah, so anyway, screenshot that if you're interested, because she's an interesting lady. She talks about a little bit about mental health too, about, community, and she's doing a live once a day to get her to exercise on her bike. And then, through that, she talks about community and, getting everyone to talk and, just talk. Okay, let's say. But yeah, no, she was an interesting lady. Really, really enjoyed the live, actually. And then she says sometimes there's wild moose going around the backyard. So that was interesting. I mean, this is my backyard, so to speak, and there's like wild seagulls, and pelicans. I don't know where they are now. But there are dolphins out here, and there could be whales, but we just can't see them. They're more out in the middle of the channel there. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking, because you're right, Mel. It'll just go, and Dora will be bye-bye. Anyway, so guys, thank you for joining me this afternoon. I really appreciate you. And thank you for getting deep and personal with me and listening to some of my deep and personal about my friend Esther, about my experiences with, mental health, so to speak. I wouldn't say I have mental health, but we can all be on the border of mental health. So I appreciate you guys, because obviously I'm doing a walk, and this walk is about mental health. So I know not everyone wants to get deep down and personal, but you got to sometimes. But then at the same time, we keep it fun and light. And anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. And I appreciate you sticking it out with me. Mel, thank you. I know you stuck it out with me a lot. Paul, I appreciate you. You're always being my little assistant, and egging everyone saying on, please subscribe and like my channel. Thank you, Paul. I appreciate you. And I will go check out your Wednesday and your Saturday video. But anyway, if everyone else wants to check out each other, you definitely should. Paul D Australia is really an interesting guy. One of my mates. He keeps me company on his walks. Anyway, thanks guys. I really appreciate Mel you jumping on today too. You really spent a couple of hours with me, mate. That's a lot of time with this person. Anyway, thanks Pikachu and thanks Brooke. Appreciate you guys. Bye.